Okay, ever since our failure regarding the 30-day YouTube challenge, failure in results, because we did manage to do every day for 30 days, the failure of the results made me think about a lot of things again. And one of the things was just how we're approaching a lot of things that I guess we're doing for our creative sort of career. And for this one, I'm going to title it like finally humbling myself, or at least like just feeling like I've been humbled, especially by the results. But I call it that because I feel like a lot of what I've been doing lately has been based on my own sort of ideas of what I find sort of like fun or cool, or maybe what my version of what I think will be successful will be. But at the same time, there's so many resources out there, so much advice, so many like things that I know like increase the chances of success that I just haven't really been applying very much. So an example of that is just like, for instance, this channel. Well, this channel is more so my second channel, and personal channel doesn't have like an actual real theme. But if I were to actually try and make my channel into something successful, like I would definitely need to pick a niche. For instance, like my Skillshare classes all have the niche of like tutorials on how to create things. So for instance, using a camera, or how to use Premiere Pro or Adobe Audition, for how to choose your microphones, all that stuff. It's very like, it has a niche. My Skillshare stuff has a niche, and it has like everything that a good channel would have. And this whole niche thing has been something I've been resisting for a very, very long time. I just feel like I've always wanted to go the whole like nicheless route, where it's based around like me and not, you know, the niche. But that's really, really hard to do initially. And I feel like a lot of the ideas and videos that I create are not quite extreme enough for that to actually work. So I've been thinking a lot about what that means and how I should actually humble myself. And it's in two ways. Number one, for exercise and stuff like that, I will stop thinking that I know better than all the experts out there. Stop using ChatGPT as well, and actually just following the advice, right? So the advice, I mentioned this also in my video where I talked about being back in California, but basically I'm just gonna do a routine that is tried and true. Just do the right amount of reps, right amount of sets, the best exercises that people recommend, and work each muscle group in order to actually have like a real sort of body transformation, or at least some sort of difference in results from my exercise and for my cardio fitness as well. Like, I just need to follow the instructions, basically. That's all I really need to do, instead of trying to think of the instructions myself and do whatever I come up with. That is the best summary I can think of for what I'm trying to talk about here, that I should have said in the beginning of the video. But the second aspect is to do this for creative things. So for instance, actually creating a channel where it has a niche. And I've been resisting creating another channel, but I feel like I kind of have to. I feel like this channel is just going to remain how it is, in terms of me just talking about everything, me just talking about my life journey, basically. That's what this channel is. And then my main channel, I feel like I have the direction for that one. It's just gonna mainly talk about like the challenges that I do in a concise manner, including the projects that I do and everything. So it's more like the same thing as this, but like a polished version of it. And then the channels that I'm gonna create, I already have a piano channel, but I haven't touched it in a while. But the instructions for, you know, how to be successful on any sort of content creation platform is to make content about something you're passionate about. And for the longest time, I just, for whatever reason, could not bring myself to create just content around piano. Like, I guess like performances, I'm not great with performances, so I always mess up, and I always feel like it takes forever to actually upload a video of me performing something. So I was like, okay, you know, I guess it's not really my type of video because it takes too long to do, but at the same time, if I were to do it, I would improve on the skill of actually performance in general. But I don't want to just create performances for like piano, although it would be fun to just, create a lot of arrangements, get better with playing by ear, but also talk about the journey of those things. Like talk about, and then talk about the journey of getting better with playing by ear, with performance, with sight reading, with everything, right? Because those are things I really, really like doing for piano. And also talking about my original compositions that I have talked about on my channel here, and doing more piano challenges as well. Fun stuff like that. Basically, everything that I do, but apply it to the niche of piano and music. That's something I feel like I can do, but I'm just afraid of it for whatever reason. Maybe because it's closer to me, maybe because I feel like it is a passion that I don't want to fail at it. I don't want to like have those negative feelings that I did, like for instance, seeing bad results for my 30 days of making a video every day for my main channel. Like it felt bad to see how lackluster the results were. And I don't want that for piano, I guess, but I'm starting to shed that, and I'm starting to, like I said, humble myself. But also, and it's not just humble, but like to let go of pride, to let go of this weird resistance that I've been having, and actually follow the instructions with choosing a passion as my niche. So the channel link is down in the description. I'm sure by the time this video uploads, I'll have made more videos for that channel and actually like pursue like interesting content for that niche and see where it takes me. As well as other things, I talked about how like, okay, yeah, we got to decide on a niche because that's part of following the instructions for content creation. So what am I really interested in? Well, I chose three things, or I chose three traits that the niche should have. So number one, it has to be either a passion or something I'm really, really highly interested in. Number two, it has to have what I call, or what I've heard, I guess it's from Alex Hormozi. It's like a big hungry audience, or like a hungry audience basically. And I put big in front of it because it's better to have a bigger size for the audience, right? So big hungry audience, which what that means is basically people want to watch the stuff. Like there's a lot of people who look for it or want to watch it. And then this one, I feel like it's not necessarily, but it's a big bonus, like a huge bonus actually, which is it can make your audience money. So this is something I talked about in a video I made in Japan, where I was just walking around and being like, okay, like what is a good product to create, or like an information product to create? And it's usually involving some form of like helping someone make money, or at least helping them with a skill that can help them make money. So how to create content is an easy one. It's one that I've already basically done with Skillshare, except I don't really market it as making money. I sort of market it as the skill only. But in the future, I feel like as we continue to improve with those skills and actually make more money off of those skills, we can, perhaps make a channel around that, but more so just like information products, I guess. Either way, that's a lot of channels, but it's also a catch-22 in some ways, because it's like you need to learn the new skills that help you make the money, because right now I don't really have too many skills to make money. So it's like I have to learn those skills and I have to be good at it, and I have to feel like I'm actually good enough to teach it. So because I really, really dislike channels or products or courses where it's like, you're teaching something that you only got success from because you're teaching it, if that makes sense. So for instance, like basically creators out there on YouTube who only talk about how to get good at YouTube, but like their only proof of getting good at YouTube is their videos about how to get good at YouTube. And it's like the only reason people are watching those videos is because, like, number two, the second trait, there's a big hungry audience. A lot of people want to get good at YouTube. So there's a huge audience for that, and they just watch those videos because it's part of that niche, it's part of that like style of video. And the only reason people get a lot of views for that is because there is a big hungry audience, and because perhaps the editing was at least decent for the video. But yeah, yeah. And I know this firsthand because one of my main channel videos was talking about how to create a format, how to create a whiteboard animation style video for YouTube. And it's a very, very popular style out there. And the video itself, it's like, it's okay. Like I made that video in like a day or two. And it has like almost 2 million views. So it's like, the only reason that video did well is because there is a huge, hungry audience for it. So, and I'm very, very aware of that. I feel like a lot of advice out there which says to choose a niche, which is something you're passionate about and nothing else. I feel like you gotta think about it a bit more. And that's why I created these different criterias, because I feel like if it can make your audience money, it's most likely also like something that has a huge hungry audience. So those two somewhat go hand in hand, although I do feel like for the skill of piano, a lot of people do want to learn how to play the piano. And if I can make it, I guess, more accessible to beginners that are adults, because I prefer to make content for people who can understand what I'm saying clearly and not like content for, I guess, children or teens. I mean, teens are pretty smart, so I'm sure they can understand if I were to like make tutorials and stuff. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of there's an audience for that. Like a lot of people want to learn piano. It's just a very cool instrument. It's the best instrument. I mean, I'm clearly biased, but it is the best instrument, but it doesn't have that like, can it make your audience money? It's just mostly pure skill. Unless like, I get really, really good at the skill and then like teach the skill, or like give piano lessons and then I teach people how to give piano lessons and make money from piano lessons or something like that. Okay. You get the idea. There's always a way to spin it to make it fit, but at the same time, you want to make sure that it's actually inherently fitting. So something like, for instance, marketing, like, although I feel like marketing is kind of boring, and that's why content creation, boring in terms of like it sounds boring, like content creation and making money from that sounds way more fun. And I think that's why it's so much more marketable and so much more like, there's so many courses out there that's based around like how to do well with succeeding on social media or content creation or something like that. So it is a very, very good niche to be in, basically. And unfortunately for me, I kind of like don't really like making that type of content. So for now, I won't make it. But it, again, also catch-22. Like I feel like I need to be way better with actually making the content before I make anything related to like tips on that, because otherwise I feel like a fraud, like a huge fraud. Like one of those people who basically are only successful because they made videos about like other successful people or like how to succeed on something, but you get the idea. I mentioned it already. So that's what's been on my mind in terms of like what I need to do to follow the instructions, as well as also bringing my own experience into this, because the instructions just say to follow a niche that you're passionate about or that you have like a huge interest in, basically, not the big hungry audience part, which is, in my opinion, pretty essential if you want to succeed doing this. But at the same time, I feel like piano is there. It has an audience and I am passionate about it. So I'm going to start doubling down on basically content related to piano. And also, one more thing is I believe I will create a channel related to Japanese learning as well, since that is something of huge interest. It is something I want to get fluent at. Like I want to be fluent in Japanese and I'm gonna keep trying until I am. So I might as well create like a channel dedicated to my journey. And once I am fluent, then I also feel like there's a big hungry audience for that. And it doesn't help people make money, but at least it helps people like fulfill something that they might want, which is to be able to speak Japanese, be able to watch like anime without subtitles, be able to live in Japan comfortably and know like how to navigate Japan with the language and not just like depending on Google Translate or something like that. So yeah, that's something I feel is another niche that I'll start a channel with, because I don't know, I think it'll be fun. It's way too many channels, to be honest. I'm sort of like falling back into the issue I had back then. And also my entertainment channel, Imagine Blue. I haven't touched that in a long time, but I think I will start to upload on that as well because I really, really love voice acting, like trying to voice act. I'm not good at it. I'm not like a professional whatsoever. I do voiceovers like in a professional capacity in terms of like, I'm on Fiverr, I'm freelancing. I do voiceovers for companies and stuff like that. But in voice acting, I feel like it's different, where you're playing a character and all that stuff, and that's what I find more fun. And I want to get way more into that. And I think the easiest way is to just make skits, and I feel like that's been something I've been wanting to try for a long time. And I might as well just put it on my entertainment channel because it kind of makes sense to put it there. Like, that channel, basically, we just talk about a lot of TV shows and movies and anime and all that stuff. I haven't participated in it as much. It's like a team channel, or at least I made it that way. Originally, it was just me, and then I kept bringing people on until basically, like, I consider it a team channel now because my friend is the one who does a bit more with that channel than I do at this point. So, yeah, I do want to kind of revive it in a way because it does fit, I feel, because the skits and everything will be related, or at least like the skits I want to make. It can be about anything, but I think it'll be related to some form of entertainment or the stuff that I watch. And as long as I keep doing my projects, I will have some days where I can watch stuff. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now in terms of all of these things. It's a lot. It's overwhelming sometimes to how much it is. But oddly, I don't feel overwhelmed right now. I feel like back then I was, but now I'm like, I don't really care. I just like all these things. I'm just gonna like create stuff for it. I don't really care to like make weekly content. I just care that I'm making content that I care about, that I like, and that has the capacity, the potential to do well, basically. I know that's not like fully following the instructions because the instructions probably also say to, focus on one channel and, put all your effort into that one thing. But for now, at least, this channel is mostly a documentary where I just document all my thoughts and my journey throughout all these things, so I don't count it as one. And then my main channel is basically just a summary of that documentary, so I also somewhat don't count it as one. So the real channels, I guess, that I'm applying the formula to will be the piano stuff and the Japanese stuff. I think for the skits and whatnot, that's just purely for fun. I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm banking on this to be successful. But for the piano and Japanese stuff, I do want to build something with that because we are making the audiobook for the purposes of learning Japanese. So it kind of makes sense to have like an avenue to also market that audiobook. And then for piano, I just love it. It's a passion. I'm gonna keep doing it. I want to keep improving, and I just feel like I have so many ideas related to like content for it as well. Making arrangements, making different styles for like popular songs. There's so much potential there, and there's so many things that I been wanting to try for it as well. So those are the two, I guess. The number one is the piano one because that's my passion, and then the number two one is Japanese learning because I think I'm just gonna continue to do that, and I'll probably only post like once a week for each of them, maybe not. Once every 2 weeks for each of them, probably. Just because I do want the content to be good. Or at least like a decent level of a decent standard for them. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I'm just trying my best to follow the instructions as best as possible, and creating content around a very specific niche seems to be better overall. And I'm kind of done with self-improvement as well, so I really don't feel like making content around that anymore, which is kind of what my main channel used to be about. Yeah, I just can't do that anymore. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. There's just all the thoughts I've had around this. Just gonna do my best to follow the instructions instead of trying to believe that my way is somehow better, even though I don't have the success or experience that other people who have the success and experience are trying to tell me like this is the way, right? So yeah, let's try it. Let's see what happens.